So I want to share with you an email I got recently from a mum after my recent blog video about when it is and isn't a good idea for your teen to go over and above in their study and tasks. She said, "Hi Katie, your video about what to spend extra time and effort on and what not to was exactly what my son needed. He almost always runs out of time in exams and tests, and it's because he tries to put in so much information into all his answers. He's always been a hard worker, but I worry because he's getting a bit disheartened with a couple of exam results recently that weren't so good. He's in year 11, so I feel this is a fairly critical time." And I totally understand and agree. Now, I've already replied in detail to Kirsten, and I've done a lot of other blog videos around exam techniques. So I just want to expand a bit more on why there's never any point in going beyond the requirements of a question when it comes to tests and exams in particular. Because there are students out there who'll hear this and basically still ignore it. Not in a rebellious sort of way, but just because they don't quite believe it. They think that their exam is different. It's not. Or they still hold out hope that there are going to be extra marks to be had. And there aren't. It's brutal truth time. Every question is written with a purpose. Now that purpose is focused on the skill or knowledge that is being tested and what is required to prove that knowledge or skill. And that proof is allocated specific marks for each element at the time the question is being written, not when it's being marked. There is usually a meeting of senior and chief examiners after an exam has been sat where they'll take an extensive sample of student scripts, the real exam completed answers and papers, and see how their initial mark scheme works out in practice. Any adjustments are then made before marker training and before any official marking operation. However, extra marks are never invented or added on. It's more just a case of tweaking, making final decisions about certain scenarios where they might not have predicted or foreseen certain students' responses. And this is why I never encourage students to go above and beyond or add extras in exams. In fact, it's quite the opposite, especially where time pressure is a factor. Because there's often that temptation for students to put in some extra information or knowledge that they've so carefully revised, either because they want to showcase their hard work, totally understandable, or because maybe they hope it will make up for a lack of knowledge or something they're less sure of, or a less detailed response on what was actually being asked for. Well, that's why I'm here to reveal this just isn't the way tests or exams work. If your teen does have extra time left, they're going to be better off using it to improve their vocabulary or improve any existing information they've written to have it respond even more specifically or fully to the requirements of the question. There are no discretionary, "Oh, bless them, they've tried really hard" marks. There's no, "Gosh, this person really knows their stuff, even though it isn't the stuff we were asking for" type marks. Not even, "Oh, they've worked it all out correctly, but it was for the wrong chemical." No sympathy marks. Oh, and no extra marks either for answering more questions than they needed to in the exam either, I'm afraid. As a marker, I've seen all of those scenarios and many more where I can see that a student deserves a great mark, but I just can't give it to them. What's on the page does not match the criteria, and well, that's as far as it goes. Well, I might talk about it to maybe another marker at lunchtime, so it goes a little bit further, but not when it comes to their marks or results. So rather than end this video on what I now feel is like a bit of a depressing note, I want this to be a positive takeaway, an insight into exam content and marking so that your teen can put effort in where it will be more likely rewarded, and they can spend every minute wisely in their tests and exams. I'm Katie Price, and if you've got value from this video, then please scroll down, give it a like or a share it with any other parents or students who might find it useful as well. And for plenty more hints, tips and strategies on tackling exams, then if you're not already over there, head on over to gradetransformation.com.au/blog and click on the exams category. Plenty more inside of there. And until next week, let's make this a fantastic week.